famous too. Grauman had opened his Grand Theme Movie Palace, Grauman Theater on Hollywood Boulevard at a cost of $800,000. In October 1923, theater Magnate Blvd, who owned movie and vaudeville palaces all over Los Angeles, opened Blvd's Playhouse in East Hollywood. Opening night featured live vaudeville shows and short film tips starring child star Baby Peggy, Diana, Sierra, Carey Lewis. A Smith designed theater cost $70,000 and seating capacity for 838. And Spanish colonial revival, heads of the auditorium walls and other themed elements. The previous heads lining the walls and other themed elements the previous years. Famous showings of Grauman had opened his Grand Movie Theater, Grauman Egyptian Theater on Hollywood Boulevard at a cost of $800,000. Seating capacity of 1,771. It quickly became the benchmark for Egyptian rival style architecture bards. One of the following suit, this wave of interest in Egyptian antiquities came after the discovery of a tomb King Tutankhamun in November 1922 by Howard Carter, and the arrow covers the following of tombs to Lusa, Egypt. Their expedition captured the world's imagination with more than 5,000 relics they unearthed, more composed of gold and obelisk. In the late 1900s, the bard's name was changed to the Vista, and a new neon marquee was erected in 1938. Cinema and controversy. This history of the Vista parallels the changing times in East Hollywood, America. In 1948, it screened The Birth of a Nation upon D.W. Griffith's death and was picketed by the Progressive Labor Party civil rights activists in the 1950s. The theater became a foreign movie playhouse, played films in the Communist Soviet Union. In protests and complaints by the 1960s, the Vista was showing adult films. In response, city officials attempted to remove the property. In 1968, the California Supreme Court ruled that the Los Angeles ordinance requiring movie theaters to have a license was unconstitutional, since it denied the right to free speech. The Vista screened D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation after his death in 1948. The Vista stands today as one of the city's last original single-screen cinemas, showing a illicit style of current, indie, and revival films. You could also find the theater making cameo appearances on the 1990 album cover of Lights, Camera, Revolution by Thrash band Suicidal Tendencies, in a clip from Pharrell Williams' Happy music video, 1990, for the movie The True Romance, and other films. In 2005, Baby Peggy, former child actress Diana, Sierra, Carey Cray returned to the Vista to immortalize her handprints. Like the famous forecourt of Grauman Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, the Vista created its very own illicit version of featuring handprints and footprints following independent and cult film icons such as Spike Jones, Landis, Varga, and Johnson. Fine Arts Studios, The Vista.
This is the intersection where the old Reliance Majestic Studios was an early American movie studio in Hollywood, California, originally built around 1914 at 4516 Sunset Boulevard, Griffith and Mutual Film Corporation. The studio's name was changed to Fine Art Studios and was sometimes known as the Griffith Studio or the Griffith Art Craft Studio. Fine Arts Film Company produced dozens of movies during the silent film era in the U.S. It is one of the film production studios in the Triangle Film Corporation, each run by one of the parent companies, Vice President D.W. Griffith, Thomas H. Ennis, and Mac Sennett. Fine Arts was Griffith's studio and was located at Sunset Boulevard and is what is often billed as Triangle Fine Arts. And this is the triangle where the three streets come together. This is Hollywood, the parent company, the Triangle Film Company. Douglas Fairbanks debuted in The Lamb 1915. A 1916 edition of Cambercraft noted Griffith's leadership of the studio and its filmmaking in the wake of his success with Birth of a Nation. It also featured photos of the studio's still photographs and one of its stages. Christy Calbain was a director with the studio until he left for Metro Pictures Corporation. Actors with the studio included William A. Lowry. Some of the films that were made here was The Lamb in 1915, Martyrs of the Alamo 1915, The Americano 1916, and Innocent Magdalene 1916, The Good Bad Man 1916, Hoodoo Ann 1916, Diane and the Follies 1916, American Aristocracy 1916, The Half-Breed 1916, The House Built Upon the Sand 1916, Acquitted 1916, The Flying Torpedo 1916, Reggie Mixes in 1916, Stranded 1916, Hell to Pay Austin 1916, A Sister of Six 1916, The Heiress of Coffee Stars 1916, Nina and the Flower Girl 1917, A Daughter of the Poor 1917, Cheerful Givers 1917, Shabon Alley 1917, Big Yellow Taxi 1917, Stage Struck 1917, Madame Bo Peep 1917, Hands Up 1917.
You just got in the film.
Now, at the Triangle, the studio no longer stands, but this was a great part of Hollywood history, as you can feel some of the old of Hollywood.
What the hell?